a national meltdown. It really feels like the post 9/11 era again. So, yeah, one point I just think is important to make is that there is no graduating class in Gaza. There's been a lot of complaints among students that, oh, we're not getting the we're not getting the full celebration after COVID, after our schools were shut down for that. Well, at least your school wasn't bombed by some with weapons that some trustee made by the company where some trustee like Che Johnson sits on the board. I mean, this is the conference hall where graduations are held in Islamic University. This is what it looks like now. And this is, I believe, where Rifat Al-Arir got his PhD. I remember seeing the photos of that. So many accomplishments were honored there, and it's all gone. Every university in Gaza is gone. Al Azhar University was the other major university in northern Gaza, completely gone. Here's an Israeli soldier boasting about blowing that university up. For those asking why there's no education in Gaza, oops, we had a missile fall on them. That sucks. Too bad. Okay, why should we why should we continue to invest in Israeli companies, Israeli interests when they're openly boasting about ending all education in an entire region? There's no.
And I just, well, I just know also, just like Gaza's medical system, people from Gaza are so proud of their education system too. It's something that, I mean, I personally don't. It's not something I can relate to. It's not as if when I think of the Canadian education system, I'm filled with pride. I mean, it's not bad. It's actually cheaper than the U.S., which is insane if you don't come from the U.S. But in Gaza, they're so proud of their education system, so proud of it, and it's so successful. People from there are, despite living under really harsh conditions because they're under siege, are so educated, and now it's all rubble, all of it. People are still learning and doing their dissertations and their exams in tents. I've seen videos of that, but I mean, all the infrastructure that they work so hard to build in their education system along with hospitals, it's all gone.
It's all gone. I mean, all the elementary schools. Palestinian society in general prioritizes education. It's paramount as a kind of cultural value, and the mosques will blare out the students' grades at the end of each quarter or semester as a means of celebrating those who did well and shaming those who got like C's or whatever I would get in math. It's all gone. The mosques are blown up. The schools are blown up. They've been occupied by Israeli soldiers, and you can see the typical mindset of the Israeli who boasts about destroying education in Gaza. Oops, because they want them to be dumb and to not be engineers and to not be able to challenge occupation, to not be Rifat Al-Arir, who distills intellectual resistance as a human, and who was assassinated for his words, along with so many intellectuals in Gaza. So many of the kind of intellectual nobility in Gaza were targeted and killed, along with top physicians. And that's what this is about. That's why business as usual cannot take place from now through Chicago until this is over.
And that's why, also, I mean, that was a big factor in Israel going after UNRWA. UNRWA is a major part of the education system. It teaches Palestinian culture. It sort of preserves Palestinian national identity just through the schools alone. And therefore, in Israel's eyes, it had to be destroyed. And since you mentioned Chicago, I think we should say that it just came out today that the Biden administration is looking to take the DNC, the convention in Chicago, online because they don't want to have to deal with massive protests. So therefore, they're going to try to do what they did with Biden during the 2020 campaign, just make it all virtual, keep them away from the people.
I haven't seen that. I'm looking around right now. I put out a poll about a few days ago about whether people thought the convention would be held remotely, just like Biden's 2020 campaign, and the inauguration of Biden was held behind basically like blast walls. But there's a lot of activity going on to prevent the protesters from disrupting the convention. They haven't gotten permits. They've been blocked from getting permits to be anywhere near the convention. They're going to be in Hyde Park, which is 3 miles away from the arena where the convention will be held. I do know that like the Poor People's Campaign has a permit, possibly because of some error by the DNC's lawyers. They have a permit to march to the arena, so anyone can join that. So I feel like they're just going to bandwagon on that. And
there's a headline from Politico: Joe Biden's top advisors are worried the Democratic convention could erupt in protests, so they're pushing to move it semi-online. I mean, George W. Bush didn't even do that during the Iraq War. Remember that massive march in 2004?
I was in it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was there too. Like, they knew for a while that would be happening. They didn't try. I mean, I guess back then the internet wasn't as, it wasn't as strong as it is now. But still, I mean, this is like, that's how afraid the Democrats are of their voters and their base, is they're going to try to hold as much as they can of their convention online.
Oh man. And I mean, that benefits them in many ways, because they don't want any challenge to Biden anyway. It's not like the convention is an outmoded thing. It's just basically a